Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. Cross the line in 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 94 of the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. My name is Geoff. Welcome Impact Man. Welcome to another Stag show. Obviously there's some other things going on in the wrestling world, but we're still going to have a good one today. We are the podcast that likes to live in the gray, as we say. Unbiased, transparent, honest, but we don't just look for the negative, which seems to be the case out there, but we also don't just look to kiss ass, which also seems to be the case out there. So we're floating in between. If you fuck with that, we fuck with you. We have a lot to talk about, including some crazy original content that you guys are going to see. But of course, I want to start by thanking the guys that are adding us on Twitter, 3,662. That's a testament to Io's great work there. Shout out to Io. Our goal for Slammiversary was 3,750, so we're creeping on that. That's great. 307 on YouTube, staying pretty where we are. As far as views, though, cutting in half. Could be a lot of things. Obviously, heading into Slammiversary has been a little bit slower newsworthy-wise, but either way, as we say, one fan at a time, one friend at a time. If you like what you see, hit thumbs up. Watch us. If you're watching us on Twitch, with the record number for us of 42 last week, thank you to the people who came through our live episode here at 8 p.m., twitch.tv/TNAIWChannel. And for those who watch us whenever you watch us, so obviously you could see there's going to be a little bit different of a format. I'll actually talk about that as I pop up the time card there. So right after us, after this ends here, you go to our YouTube channel, TNAIW channel, and the Impact Zone with Max is its own show now. It'll happen every 9:15, every Sunday, excuse me. It'll air right after live premiere, so you guys can go right on to that after the show. Not necessarily we'll be here till 9:15, but at least give you some time to get some snacks or something and get ready for that. And this one is a good one. We're going to be talking a lot of things, including Good Brothers versus Briscoes, and I mean that by what's the odds both stay, as well as answer some of your YouTube comments on there because they pertain to that. All right, guys, so we got that, and here's first of all, let me give the guys, because they deserve it, Talking Bloody Nonsense, man. They're on episode 23, killing it, as always. Go check them out, Craig and Nixon. They're right here as well, and they also got their TBN chats. This one with Simon Hill. Great listen. Go check that out, and yeah, show them your love. They deserve it. Getting to what I was gonna get to though, so we have a little original content. You can see it down there on the time card at 8:35. That's when I'll hope to show it. It is hey T Hughes 1990. Welcome back, my friend. So if you're a watcher of the show or not, so maybe this doesn't resonate whatsoever, but our grand finale, season finale, episode 10 of LOL TNA Steiner Math was to come out. To be honest, the social media and technology weren't working in our favor. Got a little frustrated. You guys know, well documented my mental health history. I like to talk about that openly as a way for you guys to see that it's okay to talk about it as well. But I had a little bit of breakdown. It wasn't working. It was frustrating. The time, I want to be consistent. I wanted to go out. It didn't work. Thanks to the guys on the show who lifted the spirits. And instead, you guys are going to see at 8:35, we've decided to get at least this part out. You're going to see the video of Steiner Math like you've never seen it before. I don't know if that's good, but it's here nonetheless, and you'll get to see it. Let us know what you think of it, and then hopefully we can get that season finale up, and you can see our reaction to said video when it finally airs. All right, guys. Whew. Now that that's out of the way, let's get to your guys' YouTube comments. As I always say with YouTube comments, it takes a lot to express your opinion on social media, because who knows what will come of your opinion, right? Even on here, I tend to be a little feisty sometimes. Some good spirits today. I'm sure there's some that will drive a screwdriver right into my side, but we'll make the best of it. Once again, I appreciate all comments. What we're trying to build here is not like-minded people in the sense of we all have the same opinion, but at the end of the day, we have like mind in the sense that Impact is the company we love. You could love other ones, pro wrestling, but we're building a community here of people who are inclusive and not exclusive. So opinions can differ no matter what. With that being said, I do want to give some shout-outs. Actually, just to make it quicker, there's a lot of you that so the Dark Side of the Ring, Tony Khan and the Forbidden Door was put on Twitter. It obviously was on here last episode, and then it was put on Twitter. We're at 1,200 watches or views, since it aired, or since it started popping up random places thanks to IO. So thank you to all the people that give it 2 minutes to watch it. But the people I want to shout out, and I'll put every single one of your Twitter hashtag, your Twitter handle, in the description here, because it takes a lot to look. We're pro wrestling. Max right now is literally watching whatever AEW show is going on. Pro wrestling. I really mean that. So when we're taking little jabs and making fun of Tony Khan, the Forbidden Door, even TNA, even WCW. So when we're joking that, to me, it takes a lot to hit like or a retweet. And I want to give a shout out to all the people that did that. Now, there was one person who quote tweeted it and said, and I won't reveal their name, they deleted it, I'm sure because of the backlash they had for it. But it's a shame that we can't put our opinion up there. And I want to shout out whoever that was. I'm sure if they listen to the show or watch the show, I appreciate the original. What's up, Gary? The original gesture, because it does take a lot to put that out there, especially when it's going against AEW, because as we know, not everyone's as inclusive, as we'd like to be. All right, so we're starting with YouTube comments. Let's get into that. First one up, Fade to Bland 20. What's going on? Let's see what's going on with him today. When it comes to free agency, I don't really think Impact will sign any top names or really sign many talents. I think the few top names that are still out there will go to AEW. I think Impact will do just what they're currently doing, which is bring in non-signed talents for a few months. And if they can't sign any talents, at least have interesting storylines. But currently, there's nothing really interesting going on storyline-wise. Why do you watch? I mean that. In the nicest way. I want people to continue to watch. Me questioning that isn't a sense of, you shouldn't watch if you hate it. My question is this. If it consistently brings you down, or it consistently doesn't live up to your expectation, or it doesn't consistently make you happy, then why watch it? It's a television show, right? If you think it's a turd, and you want them to paint it a couple of other fresh coats, it's still going to be that turd, so it's not going to make you happy. I would just recommend, my friend, if you want to stick around and you want to be pessimistic about it, you do you, my friend. But I would say, if you don't get it from one place, get it from another. Be happy. Be happy. Are there things they can improve on? Sure. As far as the talent, I think slow and steady wins the race. And Mike Johnson, a testament to him, actually, he just answered something in his mailbag about that, about what Impact should do and what should be their next steps to getting back to where they once were, and I think it's slow and steady. Max and I will hit that a lot on the Impact Zone after 9:15 premiere, but as always, we love that. It's no harm, no foul. I just want everyone to be happy, and if something's not making you happy, it's not something you should be watching. Next up, Darker Sides 22. Wyndham is probably the only person that would be able to improve Impact's viewership on a consistent basis. That said, I don't know if it would be large enough viewership for Impact to sign him. Darker Sides 22, we actually addressed this as well in Impact, onto Impact Zone, so in more depth, so look out for that. But in regards to this, I like how you're looking at the bigger picture, right? Is it worth Impact putting up X money and maybe only seeing Y, right? The only thing I would suggest is, and we'll get into that a little more with Max, is that viewership is one very small thing, and I mean Nielsen rating viewership, on Access TV viewership, because there's a lot of other avenues that are keeping this place afloat, a lot of other places, a lot of other markets. So it's a matter of if he affects everything. Does he affect merch? Does he affect ticket sales? All that stuff. they'll crunch the numbers. That's for them to do, but that's the way you should look at it. And kudos to you for thinking like that. All right, next up, we have Roger Pace. I don't think Sasha and Naomi will go back to WWE because they both unfollowed WWE talent. I believe Sasha is going to Hollywood, and Naomi could go to Impact Wrestling because she fits in. Yeah, I think any women's wrestler fits in with Impact. Does it help the little character or whatever involved? Sure, I agree with that. But I just, it would be dope to see them both. It would be dope to see either of them. I would not be upset if it's just Naomi. I wouldn't be upset if it's just Sasha. But the Hollywood, I will tell you this for the little I have dabbled in it. Hollywood isn't a real place, right? So you could do both, right? You're in Hollywood one day, you're in it, then you're out the next. It's just the name of in which, and I'm not speaking this in layman's terms. I know Roger, I'm sure, knows that, but what I'm speaking in generalities is that Hollywood isn't something you just say, I'm stopping all my other avenues of money making. I'm gonna focus just on this. If you don't have the ability financially, the security, maybe already in the business. She hasn't been, besides the Star Wars thing to my knowledge, really big in the acting. So I think it takes time, but thank you for that. Yeah. Greg Blanton, next up. The owner of Anthem, Leonard Asper, is a billionaire, and 3 within Anthem's leadership group, all capital investors, are billionaires. That being said, 2 within that circle of power hate wrestling, doesn't want it on Anthem's books, and resist any efforts to expand the base budget for Impact. Any budgeting increase must be generated through a percentage of Impact profits. Yeah, so that's, I heard that a lot, and there's 2 parts to that. One, I agree with you as far as dealing and working within the generated profit. I've said that from the get-go. This company works within the black. They get to a certain point in the black, they spend it back, and they keep getting back up, and they keep building and building and building. As far as who's a billionaire on that board, I don't know. I can tell you this, and I was gravely mistaken when I first heard that they bought it. And there was a friend from up north who had corrected us on this, and basically said the Asper family had been billionaires. Their empire kind of dissipated, one reason or another. Leonard is taking the reins and trying to build back up. And if you look for, once again, don't know these people, don't know their bank accounts. But if you go off what the estimated online whatever net worth is for Leonard Asper, it's $5 million, $1 to $5 million. So billionaire they are not, to my knowledge. Can people be on there and be millionaires or billionaires? Sure. But I think at the end of the day, it matters what the strategy in which Anthem put on this company. And that's dealing with the black, getting there, spending it, getting back to the black, spending it, getting, right? We have to do that. We need to be self-attended. Back in the building. What's going on, buddy? All right, let's get to number 3 here. Thank you for that. Next up, you can't see that there. There's actually, that's another one from Gary Blanton. Or Greg Blanton, excuse me. And it's just kind of a list of, you could check that in our YouTube comments, give him a like, see if you agree with him as far as the impact, or excuse me, the non-impact talent that would be interesting or beneficial to bring on board for Impact. All right. Check that out, give him a like. Last up again is Darker Sides 22. Dakota Kai is a realistic signing Impact can do, but will they sign her? Who knows? If this is not a work, then I think Sasha will either become an actress, probably be in AEW, since the pay will be good and be on national TV. I mean, let's be honest, wrestlers only care about the money part, not really the creativity. It seems to be that way sometimes, but I think the pendulum tends to go back and forth. The rubber band tends to stretch back to where a middle ground. So I think all the people that are taking the big money at AEW, WWE can start seeing, one way or another, if it still benefits them, and if money is the deciding factor in their lives. To some, why not? That's their life. They're building a foundation. They're starting off from point A, and they're trying to get to point B. Now, some of these guys are coming back to Impact because they want to rehabilitate their image. Not necessarily personal life, but in some cases, yes. But also character-wise. And they know Impact can do that. So there's a few different kinds of people that Impact should target, and I think that eventually people will decide, am I an artist or am I a professional wrestler? Now, professional wrestler means wrestling, yes, but it also means I'm a business person. To me, that's how I differ when I talk about it. But as far as Dakota Kai's realistic signing Impact can do, will they sign her? Who knows? I think there's a lot to play with that. What's going on, Parkside 7? Millard, what's going on? I think it's easy to say it's realistic because it's realistic to us is she's in that area of where she's not big enough for this, but she's not, and she's woman. We could assess that all day. And in fact, we do the Impact Zone. But right here and now, you have to also look from the other side of that. What does Dakota Kai want? It doesn't matter if Impact wants her. It doesn't matter if Impact gives her the money she would like offered. It matters what she wants. If she wants us and it matches up, then awesome. I would love to have her. But I digress. I would just implore us all to kind of look from both sides when we talk about free agency. And obviously that's something we talk about in great detail in the Impact Zone. So look out for that. Right after this 9:15 live premiere. My Foley. All right. So next is Access on Impact on Access TV review, but of course we have to get to Power Rankings first. Power Rankings here. Let's see what happened and who's up, who's down, who's number one. I have a good feeling, but let's see. And of course, every Monday you could check out GoGoPowerRankings with Datila and Bert, who just met up in Vegas for the AEW show. So that's pretty cool, man. First time actually meeting each other in person. And they will co-host the show, and it will premiere Monday, 7 p.m. But for now, here is the actual list, top 10.
Number 10, Sami Callihan. Number 9, Jordan Grace. Number 8, Motor City Machine Guns. Number 7, World Champion Tasha Steelz. Number 6, X-Division Champion Ace Austin. Number 5, the undefeated Masha Slamovich. Number 4, Trey Miguel. Number 3, Tag Team Champions the Briscoes. Number 2, Violent by Design. Number 1, World Champion Josh Alexander.
All right, guys, do you agree? Let us hear it. Let us hear it here. If you want to make a difference, write us, shoot us a DM at TNAIWChannel or at Burt Macklin 11. It's really simple. All you have to do is get in your 1 through 10 rankings before Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's all you do. We take care of the rest between Io and Burt and Datila and Craig. Team effort, awesome stuff. You can check them out Mondays, as I said. What I do want to say is when putting these stats together, we've been 15 weeks of actually calculating the stats. And this is the first time that Masha has made the top 10 within that time frame. So that's awesome. And then also, if you don't think your votes don't matter, these are the people who literally each received at least 1 point. Kaz, Honor No More, Swann, Chelsea, Morrissey, Gujar, Taurus, Mia, Taya, Bullet Club, Laredo Kid, Influence, and Cardona. Your votes matter. So get on that. Join us. It's really simple, and it's a good time. Let's get into Impact on Access TV review. All right, so we'll get to the poll in just a moment that we put out every time after the show airs. Shout out to everyone who interacted with me, by the way. It was my first time live tweeting in months. Thank you, Io, for holding that down successfully nonetheless. Try to do it justice, but it was really cool interacting with you guys, and a lot of the stuff we talked about will be talked about today and also in the Impact Zone. So let's start off with Impact Review Board. Let's go first with BTI. I always say if you're not a avid fan of Impact, watch this for your catch up for this week, and then the awesome match that is been shown that to be produced by either Madison or by Rhino. So that's pretty cool. Rhino being the BTI guy, and Madison also helping produce matches as well for the knockouts. But here we had the AAA main event of the evening. Laredo Kid versus Black Taurus. A little bit of a wonky finish here, which I hope didn't overshine the overshadow. First Treehouse moment of the night. There's going to be a lot. I hope it didn't overshadow the match. I really enjoyed the match. There was a moment where I thought Taurus was going to black out or shit his pants when he hit Laredo Kid hit that 450. I was like, oh man. Luckily he got up. We continued the match, and then this move to end it is the one that and I'm blanking right now. But what move did he end? Spanish Fly, was it? Maybe blacked out Taurus. I'm not sure because it looked a little weird. I don't know. But either way, a good match, and it's always something you want to watch. Always pay attention to BTI. Next up, all right, guys. This is where this is where I think I'm gonna get some heat. I always say this. I'm a day one Impact fan, and I mean that. It doesn't mean I'm above anyone, but I want you to know that I mean this with all of my heart when I say it. Okay, June 19th, 2002 to now. I have seen every intro. I've watched every intro. I have nostalgia with a lot of the intros. But 2004 is not one. And I know there's a lot of people because I watch on 8:30 with the YouTube crowd. And I kept saying, oh my God, this touching moment, this opening, oh my God, the feels, oh, what a dope. I'm going to be honest. Thought it was the shits. And I mean the drizzling shits. And it's the idea, good. Execution, copy and paste. And I am no one to speak. My editing skills are not the best. I'm self-taught. I also don't work for $1 million company or what we would like to be perceived as $1 million company. So to pick one that was so, and I guess because Kazarian and Sabin are the tie there, I get for that reason. But to start off in such a weird intro or year to pinpoint, and then it be one that didn't even look good in 2004, and then all you do is slap some yellow on the... was not a fan. I know, come for me, I understand, but that is I have to be honest, pro wrestling, unbiased, transparent, and honest. So I'm sure I'll get some comments on that. Next up was Ultimate X, Alex Shelley versus Trey Miguel. This person going Ultimate X in the sense of they get the to go to the Ultimate X match at Slammiversary for Ace Austin's X Division title. Trey Miguel won here. I thought it was a great match. Love what Alex Shelley's doing. Can anyone tell me a match that Alex Shelley has won since being back in Impact? No matter what spurt. Few and far between, if at all. Just giving back, man. And also, once again, being a day oneer. Oh, and that was my point about that was... I should have been the target audience for that intro, and it did me no service. Isn't 2004 episode of Impact on TV, not the pay-per-view? Yeah, the show on Spike. Or excuse me, Fox? No, that's not Fox Sports. Now you confuse me. Treehouse. All right. Yeah, I thought that was good. Like the whole thing they're doing with that. Love that Alex Shelley's putting over his people. That's what I was going to say. He has been here since day, pretty much somewhere in there. Long enough to know the kind of people that have came in, came out while the young guys were trying to get their leg up. So it's good to have him giving back and giving back and giving back. I think he'll be used in this TNA original idea I have, but we'll talk about that in just a second. Next up was Josh and the Briscoes with Gia. Good times. And then... because they're going to team up tonight. We had Masha versus Havoc. I loved this. Thank you, Fox Sports Net debut. Thank you. I loved this Masha and Havoc match for a simple reason. For weeks upon weeks, everyone has been getting tired of Masha winning against local. She needs more competition, right? So now we get her beating these locals, right? Then we say, let's give her a chance against a veteran, and they do. Straight into Havoc, a former Knockouts champion, a true test on what Masha can do. She expands the arsenal. We get a vignette before that. We add layers to the character that is Masha Slamovich, right? And then, I won't say easily dismantles Havoc, but has a damn good match and clean and to the point, okay? She just beat a Knockouts champion, former Knockouts champion, in her first true test, if you will. the booking on this and for her, first of all, that violent, the blood, she needs to be in Violent by Design. Does she? Need is a strong word. I think she can rock it on her own. She's a star, just waiting to burst. But I think it'd be dope if she was in VBD. I digress. So what they're doing with her is just phenomenal. They're adding layers to the character. They're adding layers to the wrestler. And I love this different build because we have different knockouts that came in around the same time. Lady Frost, that kind of had that 50-50 with Giselle. Now Giselle's splitting off to Devilish or whatever they may be called. And we're yet to see from Lady Frost. But you had Masha come in on the undefeated streak. Gary, great point. Masha reminds me of Havoc when she was in TNA in 2014. I'll say that as far as how they push her. Yeah, I thought was a great job. But I'm telling you, and not that Havoc is not, but Masha is going to be a very special talent. If you're familiar with what she does outside, I think you'll agree there. Next up was Trey, Shelley, Blake, and King, which had Ultimate X implications. Backstage, just kind of Trey getting props from his friends, including Blake Christian, which was cool to see him. He gets a match against Kenny King next week that led from this. If he wins, he gets his spot in the Ultimate X at Slammiversary. Interesting. I don't read spoilers. This is a spoiler-free show. If you could keep it that way, we appreciate it. But cool to see Blake here as well. Cool to see, once again, these telling of stories without stopping something else, right? There's not so many segments. There's only 88 minutes. So let's intertwine these storylines and make something of it. We reintroduce Blake. Blake looked out of his mind. So if they're going with the treehouse thing with him and a new treehouse thing with him and Trey and maybe someone returning, I could see where they're going. It was cool to show Shelley giving respect after it, and then of course bringing King in here to play off Ultimate X and bring some drama to that was dope segment. Next up was Rich talking about Cardona. We're gonna stop here. We're gonna talk about that in a moment. Is it Christian Blake? Is it Blake Christian? It's Blake Christian, right? Am I saying it wrong? Yeah. And then we'll talk about that because we're going to talk about what happened, obviously, yesterday with that title. Chelsea Green next up against Jordan Grace. Jordan picking up the win here. Jordan, man, looking more and more legit. And I don't mean that she hasn't. I just mean that everything she does, every movement, every facial expression, she's starting to understand or at least lock in. It's Blake Christian? Okay, thank you. As it pops up right there. She's figured it out. This is where you reap the reward of investing in a homegrown talent. Would she have been this star even if she wasn't an Impact? Probably. But does it help that she has stayed with us and she's built something with the producers there, the writers, and then what she's doing outside and with the company? Man, I don't know what I'm doing with my hand, but I'm excited. Next up, Honor No More, talking to Coach D'Amore here. Scott D'Amore talking about them wanting their match, but it is made official that the Good Brothers will face the Briscoes for the tag team titles at Slammiversary. We'll talk about that as well. But interesting way to go with there, just kind of going right into that match. I'll tell you my opinion on that when we get to Hot Topics. Gia's backstage with Deanna. Love Deanna. She can do no wrong. They bring in Tasha and Savannah in here, and they talk about helping each other out, yada, yada. Dig it. Once again, bringing people together, intertwining stories to build drama and storytelling. The little big things. Next up was the Battle of the Futures. As someone who has been a fan since day one and in 2004, despite my feelings towards the intro for it. Once again, great idea. Execution is where I'm at. Matt Taven said Scott can't wear purple no more. Yeah, that's his color, right? Royalty, man. The kingdom. Yeah, I hope these guys stick around. But either way, I'm jumping around. Let's get to the Battle of the Futures first. Chris Sabin versus Frankie Kazarian. Man, all the feels. This one was dope. Glad it ended in the way it did. I know a lot of say, well, I want to finish. But I think this leads to something really cool. And it also, once again, this is a business. Tony's not just letting us borrow Kazarian without making sure he's protected. He wasn't going to take a dub to over Sabin here. And I don't think Sabin was going to take the L with what they're trying to build for Slammiversary. Plus, they've been doing a great job of keeping Sabin. If that makes sense. All right. Sabin, so that was fun. Honor No More, obviously proud of their actions here, coming back through the thing. Hey, we're pieces of shit. Good for us, right? What's going on, Jesse Goddard's fans? So Honor No More celebrating what they're doing, talking shit about Impact, TNA's legacy, and yada yada yada. We don't have a legacy. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Pot calling the kettle black, right? We're in the same boat. I mean, granted, we're still owned by our own person, our own owner, and not Tony Khan. But I digress. What I loved about this, once again, is it picked two people who, once again, you got to work into the story here. Heath and Rhino, keep them relevant in the tag division. Rhino looking good, by the way, and producing some damn good matches on BTI. But you get Heath and Rhino in here. You get a chance for Heath to talk and do his spiel and be the good guy. Rhino as well, talking about the legacy and what the legacy of TNA and Impact is no one, where was he going to go when he got canned in WWE? Where would he have gone? He could have went to New Japan, could have made money there. He has a family. Maybe he wanted to stay in the States. Either way, he was able to make money and rehabilitate not only his reputation, if you want to put it that way, but also, his work rate and whatever else it may be. Maybe get healthy. He was on the road all the time with WWE. So he had this place to not only become champion, to learn how to be the man, and not just the man beast. So great points here. Don't know why they bleeped out crap, but I guess to add drama. But I like this segment, man. I like that, Taven is taking the point of, hey, you got canned too. And then you have Heath who's saying, well, yeah, but I now have a job with Impact Wrestling. So I really dug that. Little big things for me. And it, once again, segued into here's what I think. I alluded to it earlier. You have about, 5-6, because they put PCO back in with the mix, Honor No More here. I didn't see Vincent, if I'm not mistaken, but so you got a good 5-6 right with that group. They interrupted that match with two TNA Originals, Sabin and Kazarian. Shelly needs a match as well. Maybe you throw them in there. So you got Motor City and Kazarian. Let's look for two more TNA Originals, and let's have a 5-on-5 Honor No More or Ring of Honor No More versus TNA Originals. I think that'd be dope. I think that's the direction they're headed. Once again, no spoilers, please, but I'm excited about that. Next up, Shira and Raj are dudes. I love Shira and Raj now, man. And they face Gujar. Don't know why he's a T. I spelled his name wrong. Sorry about that, buddy. Him and Morrissey. Keep an eye on Morrissey in this. A lot of tag team action for him. Was hoping that maybe they'd all turn together. But we got a middle rope spear and a 1-2-3. Yeah. Some of you guys are on him. I think, once again, he's that Maven level. We need some more spit shine on him. I think overall he's a good prospect right now, forcing him down our throats. I don't think they are, but there's a lot of fan base who thinks he's the next coming of AJ, and there's only one of those, my friend. He's in the best of the Super Juniors right now. All right, next up, Moose and Macklin. This is another one, man, of, J.D. Evans, man. Is it J.D. Evans? R.D. Evans. Why do I always get this wrong? Too much Johnny Depp trial, I guess. Yeah, R.D. Evans and I'm blanking now, but Jimmy Jacobs. Jesus Christ. Whoever's off on the creative. Once again, I don't make a clip of this. You know better. But Jimmy Jacobs, R.D. Evans, man. This creative team making, and I don't even know if it's them, but whoever is in this creative that makes these little great promos, these little quick transition shots, as I like to call them, which is integrating two different stories while continuing sometimes a third. And in this case, you had Gia talking to Moose and how Sammy's not in his head and da-da-da-da. You have Macklin enter, who is worried about Moose's mental state going into their tag team match this coming week. Perfect timing versus Morrissey and PCO, another Morrissey tag match. And then, of course, the Sammy glitch happens and Moose looks freaked out. And the simplicity of Macklin saying it twice, right? It's for Johnny. Simplicity of saying it twice and beating home that don't let him be it in your whatever it is. Beautiful. Beautiful execution. Simple, small, beautifully executed. Loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And then last but not least, VBD versus Josh and the Briscoes. What a main event, man. What a great match. Put VBD over, which I like. Obviously, they are a unit. Anytime someone says, well, it made everyone the champions look weak. Sorry. Yes, they are champions, but the odds to me always go in the favor of the group who is a group. They are a group for a reason. They have each other's back. They travel together in kayfabe, right? They do all this stuff. Loved it. Somebody said Swinger and Dice should have come out with the lights glitched. Yeah, that'd be good, man. Once again, they are my bromans of 2022. I want them to win, and I will pop when they win the tag titles. If it's for 1 week or 2 days, I don't care. Love it. And yes, Steiner is very underrated. So love the main event here. Overall, I loved the episode. I gave it a B. Shout out to Elusive Mage. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'll give you a shout out in the description as well for voting and tell me he did a V or a B. Excuse me. That's what I did as well. Here's your guys' Twitter poll results. What did you guys rate this episode? 48% said A. 48% said B and C with 4%. Do you agree? Let us know. What did you vote? Did you vote at all? Either way, it comes out after every episode of Impact on Access TV. Make your voice heard. Write your name in the comments. Tell me you voted, and I'll make sure to shout you out as well. All right, guys. Oh, wrong one. There we go. So we're on time. Hey, we did it. We are on time, which is great because we have a lot more to hit, but as I told you guys earlier, I was really down about Steiner Math season finale not coming together as I had hoped. Gary with the A there, thank you. Technology was not in my favor. I tried endlessly for nights on end, very little sleep, so much work, and it didn't happen. I'll make it happen, but it didn't in time. So instead, the guys picked me up. We're going to play, and we came up with an idea, a little a common ground, if you will. We are going to air the video right now. Oh, my God. I'm just going to play it. This is Steiner Math like you've never seen it before. It's Steiner Math. It's Steiner Math for kids. Oh, Lord. I hope you guys enjoy. We'll see.
Welcome to Promo Work 101. Today we'll be watching a video on a historical wrestling promo.
Get my brains! You wanna kiss that? You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at Sacrifice, you got a 33 and a third chance of winning. But I got a 66 and 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me and he's not even going to try. So Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and a third chance of winning at Sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning, if we used to go one-on-one, and then add 66 and 2/3%, I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. See, Joe, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at Sacrifice. See, but I'm going to break it down for all you ladies. Would you rather be with me, or would you rather be with Joe?
Well, I think Joe's kind of nice. I mean, you know.
See, you one of those girls that like romance. I'm going to talk to all my freaks out there. Would you rather come home to me, a genetic freak, to be satisfied every night, or go home to that fat-ass Samoa Joe? See, tonight, we're going to win, and I'm going to be the world champion at Sacrifice. Come on, P. Let's go.
Scotty, just like you always say, Big Papa Pump has got your hookup? Well, Maple Leaf Muscle is who you need to look up. Holler if you hear.
Now, I know why we lost viewers and followers and YouTube subscribers after the dark side of thing. I get it. People are biased. They can't see, there's joking. But this one I understand as well. Oh my God. Yeah, this is what I spend my time on. No, Anywho, what'd you guys think? Of Steiner Math for Kids? Let us know. We'll make sure it airs along with After Dark, Side of the Ring, Tony Khan and the Forbidden Door. That'll be on our YouTube channel under TNAIW exclusives. But somehow we're going to have to move on here, folks. We are going to move on to hot topics. Oh, man. So, where do you go from here, right? I do have the puppets, but I don't need them. First up, we're going to talk about the Briscoes and their contracts, and we're going to talk about this more in depth as far as comparing the apples and oranges of the Good Brothers and the Briscoes, where we see them at as far as status and rankings, and also, if we had to choose one or the other, where do you go? It's a difficult, really difficult conversation to come to a conclusion with, but Max and I do at the Impact Zone right after this, 9:15 live premiere on YouTube. Okay. But with that being said, here I want to tell you my seeds. I told you guys how I look at the Impact Wrestling.com roster page, and that's kind of tells me a little bit of what happens. I don't have any backstage knowledge. I'm not in the know. I just am a Sherlock Holmes from home. Okay. So with that being said, the Briscoes are not advertised for after Slammiversary working with Impact. Tony has been talking about, his fan base has been talking about, when are the Briscoes going to come to this eventual ROH? I didn't read his response, to be honest, but I'm sure it's one of those things where if Tony wants them, they'll be there. Now, I know we could say the Warner Media stuff. Look, I'm not going to wish anyone's past to prevent them from obtaining what they want in the future. So if they want one big run with a national TV company and make that money, God bless them. They deserve it, man. They've been entertaining me for at least 20 years of my life. So I hope they do what they want. No hate on the Briscoes. But the writing's on the wall in that sense. They have a match at Slammiversary against the Good Brothers. Now, what's interesting about this, and this is where the twofold comes in. The Good Brothers are supposed to be up at Slammiversary as far as their contracts, right? Could they have signed an extension? Sure. Are they advertised in July for Impact? They are. So this leads me to think maybe they win the tag team titles. Once again, this is just following crumbs. This has no knowledge. I don't know any of their contracts, but writing on the wall, that's to seem the way it goes. It seems to be the way it's going. So good on the Good Brothers front. I don't know about the Briscoe Brothers front, but I hope they stay around, man. Both are insanely valuable to the company. And Max has the hard job of trying to figure out which one you keep if you could keep them, and also he puts in a percentage of who he thinks if they both stay. What's the percentage they both stay? Now I brought up the point. Yeah, I think they've done everything in ROH, and I think that's true. But I think it's the same with Gresham, man. I think when that's your legacy, and you put your heart and soul into that, it becomes more than just a brand. It becomes the canvas. It becomes your masterpiece that you've painted over and over again on their canvas, right? So I don't know, analogy over analogy, metaphor over metaphor, but I just think that I don't want to be biased in saying I agree with you there, because I do wholeheartedly. I think if you've done it, but then I would be a hypocrite to say the same with Taya, right? Taya came back. She's done everything per se. But lot more to be done for both of them, I think. But it's just something to keep an eye on. Once again, following the breadcrumbs. I'm excited to see this match either way. If I'm not mistaken, it's 2-1 in favor of the Good Brothers. So maybe the Briscoes get this here, right? And then we have a best of 5 on our hands. Let me know also, by the way, if it's in these comments here in the chat group live here on Twitch. Once again, every 8 p.m. Sunday, live here on twitch.tv/TNAIW channel. But on June 19th, Saturday, we will also have a show, 6:30 to 7:30. We always do an hour pre-show for the pay-per-views and big events. So tune in with us then. It'll be a good time. It always is. We'll have our predictions. And our buddy Chris is coming up with a way for people that aren't on the team or staff, whatever you want to call us, the TNAIW fam, your guys, the viewers, predictions as well. And I'll figure out a way to put that together. So if you're interested, let us know. But with that being said, let's get into something that happened last night. Obviously, you can see it there. Swann, unfortunately, a little bit cut off there. But Rich won the Digital Media Championship. He did not leave with it. Cardona did. Does this play out leading into Slammiversary? I think it does. Do I think it's done because if I saw a lot of negative reactions saying, oh, this is because Cardona's just on his way out, just like Myers, just like Chelsea. One, Chelsea's in the Queen of the Mountain. Two, I have no clue on what their goal is outside of Impact or if Impact fits their current goal. So I don't know any of that. But I will say a couple things. One, I love what this does for the DMC because look at the lineage already. It's Grace, Cardona, Swann. These are your people who have done it, who can do it, who are still doing it, but also are names that will build the legacy of this title. Now, a lot of people, I see some people that said, well, it's confusing. It's not defended in digital media, whatever. Guys, in 98, I watched Conan defend the TV title at a house show against Stevie Ray. Okay. I saw D'Lo Brown defend the European title in New York. Okay. It's not to be taken literal. The legacy is what will define that belt. And if we scrap it now because you don't like the name or you don't like that it wasn't defended every day or that they originally started with one idea, we're never going to get anywhere. Okay? Pat Patterson in Rio de Janeiro, look that up, my friends. The Intercontinental title has had its things too. And if to get to that point, I think we all have to realize that it needs to just be patient. We need to build it. We need to keep building it. And if the next step is put it on your work rate guy who has been world champion and now is going to defend it every friggin' show, then that's what you do. And I think this is perfect for Rich Swann. So I think that's dope. The other thing is this, the other way of looking at it is Cardona was injured at GCW, seems to be the word out there. Conveniently came out right after he lost the DMC title. So does that mean he will not be at Slammiversary? I'm going to say wait on that. Because what this tells me, not only did he leave with the title, so there's obviously more to play out here. Ray Walt facing Swann this Thursday, so maybe something plays out there. Continues that story. But if I'm not mistaken, Matt Cardona is the NWA Heavyweight Champion. He's the world champion. When we started out, June 19th, 2002, 995, Wednesday pay-per-views, Jeff Jarrett was synonymous with the NWA title. Okay? And whoever else won, Shamrock being the first one to win, and yada, yada, yada. Now, this kind of plays into my last hot topic, which is Jeff Jarrett getting his big promotion or job with the WWE. Congratulations to him. I personally think our relationship with WWE is good enough for this to be worked out. I think something could be worked out with AJ or Bobby Roode, for instance. I think the door is open to that when it comes to maybe not matches, but hey, let's 20 years respect. Here you go. Here's a favor. And I think it would be pretty cool if you take the belt off Cardona, you move Rich into something else with that belt, and he could show up in Nashville with the NWA title, spewing shit about he's the true NWA champion, blah, 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 blah. Wouldn't it be cool? Because you can't, no matter how you feel about him, and I love the guy, but no matter how you feel about him, Jeff Jarrett is the founder of TNA. At that time, NWA TNA, and now Impact. He is the founder. You cannot change that however you, some people would like to. I don't know why. But Jeff Jarrett needs to be at Slammiversary in Nashville 20 years after he started NWA TNA. It's just fitting. And for him to come out and give a guitar shot to Cardona and just do something small like that, hear the laugh in the My World music, beautiful. I think that needs to happen. As far as Jeff getting this promotion, look, I've been to a lot of TNA shows, a lot of house shows. I love TNA. I love Impact. I love yeah. But our draws weren't that great at house shows for TNA back in the day. So how he got that job is I bow to him. He knows the business, so it makes sense. But it plays into something that I've talked about a bit. I don't know if it was on here or the Impact Zone. My thinking is long-term WWE sells, and I mean long-term, I mean within 2 years, sells to a Dwayne Johnson orchestrated selling with Nick Khan, his childhood friend, of WWE to Amazon and Jeff Bezos, his tequila drinking buddy. Which, once again, you don't call someone your tequila drinking buddy unless you have zero else in common with them. So I think eventually Amazon does purchase WWE. Maybe I'm wrong. The point is when it is purchased, no matter who you put at the top, you're going to need people that work in the structure of this company that have wrestling knowledge. One of which being in live TV events, which Hollywood execs or Amazon execs aren't going to have firsthand knowledge of. You're going to have a training facility. You need people in there, which WWE has. And now they reverted it back to developmental, which it needs to be, especially if you're selling to people who don't know wrestling. So I think that's something to keep an eye out on. But to end off on a positive, I hope, regardless of it, I wish Jeff the best of success with that position. But I also hope, for the sake of selfishness, that he shows up at Slammiversary. Because how badass would that be? Come on. Even if for the haters. That would be something that pops me. I'm really excited about the potential of that. So when I saw Rich win the belt, there was just multiple different light bulbs that went off. So I'm really stoked about that. And then also, we made a plea. Well, Craig made a plea, and I want to continue this. We didn't keep pushing it for one reason or another. Things get lost in the shuffle. We won't put the petition back out there, but let's start the hashtag. I don't know, spruce it up. You guys can come up with it. But we want a gimmick battle royal at Slammiversary. How dope would it be to have a Shark Boy come in, right? D-Ray 3000 for all you old heads out there. Maybe an Abyss. I mean, that would be dope. But all of these cats come in here and make the SATs, the Johnsons, or at least someone in the Johnsons gear. Whoever you could think, a Cookie, I don't know. Put the people that have built this company, have lasted in the minds of the fan. Give them their spotlight, even if it's for a little bit of battle royal. I think that's dope. And the winner should be EC3 as EC3. not EC3 control your narrative, but happy, do the music, do the thing. That shit would be great. That would be a moment. But that is our hot topics, guys. This is the end. Thank you for rocking with us. We're fixing things. We're changing things. The format's changing, but we got a great show that happens right after this. And this, if you're not watching live on Twitch, 8 p.m., twitch.tv/TNAIW channel, you can watch this 10 p.m. live premiere on our YouTube channel, the TNAIW channel, right thereafter. But 9:15, Flying Elvises minus Sonny Siaki. Yes, I agree. Well, I love Sonny, but I don't know. Maybe there's a reason. You can check in the Impact Zone. It's Max and I talking free agency, the Good Brothers versus the Briscoes, and who do you keep if you have to, and what's the chances both stay, amongst other stuff, including some YouTube comments about Bray Wyatt and some other gems. So check that out, guys. We're going to wrap this up. Thank you as always. Hit like, hit subscribe. The goals are 325 on YouTube subs, 3750 for Twitter follows. And then, of course, right here, we're at where we need to be. Episode 94. We have 94 on Twitch. So by now, episode 95, we need 95. Thank you guys once again to all those people who reach out to us. We show you love. You guys show us love. We show you love back. And check out the description for those who did. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Goodbye.